Hello YouTube, I saw this commercial a little while ago and I just started putting all these pieces of the puzzle together. Let me know what you think.
If the Christ or Buddha returned today, would you recognize him? The one awaited by all major religions has come when we least expected it. He is ready to emerge openly very soon. Look for a bright star shining in the sky night and day as a sign of his public emergence.
Let's go back. Listen to that.
By all major religions has come when we least expected it. He is ready to emerge openly very soon. Look for a bright star shining in the sky night and day as a sign of his public emergence.
You got that? Bright star night and day, okay? Now, what a coincidence. What do we have next?
We'll remind you as the date gets closer so you can stock up on snacks and beverages, but a comet is coming. A big and brilliant comet arriving in November 2013. It could potentially be 15 times brighter than the moon and visible in broad daylight over the U.S. We will be your Comet Network and we'll keep you updated.
Late this year, there's a new comet that's going to blaze across the sky. Experts say ison is going to be dazzling. That is late November. The brilliance lighter, brighter than the full moon. Chad Myers is going to actually show us a little bit a preview here. Hey, Chad.
This could be really cool. I mean, I watched Halley's Comet as a kid go across the sky. I'm kind of not really a kid. I was older than a kid, but okay. But that might have been a little disappointing to some. And we don't know exactly how great comets will be until they get here. Because the tail here, the moisture coming off, the ice being flown off, and the tail here, north sky here. This is from a website. You can go on to eagleseye.me.uk. We found this yesterday. Dave Eagle made these from Sky Safari. So December 10th, 2013, a huge streak is what it will look like, we hope, across the sky.
Let's keep it going, shall we?
It's expected to be one of the biggest cosmic events we have seen in decades, the so-called comet of the century. Photographed by the Hubble telescope, scientists say the head of that comet about 3,000 miles wide, the tail more than 57,000 miles long. The center area, called the nucleus, is 3 to 4 miles across. That's big. It was discovered by a Russian amateur astronomer last September. They've been watching it ever since. And Tariq Malik is the managing editor of Space.com, back with us in studio. Good morning to you. Where's she going?
Well, it's basically out kind of beyond Jupiter right now. It's coming in to the inner solar system. It's going to swing around the sun. It's going to flare up, hopefully be one of the brightest things we've seen in the night sky.
So it's not coming near the planet Earth.
It will be nearest Earth after it swings past the sun in December. Still millions of miles away, no threat to our
I got you. Okay, so that's taken.
Now remember, there's an article in Forbes about comets triggering electromagnetic Armageddon, okay? You just got to see all these articles about solar flares and the power grid going down, I'm telling you.
Carol, yeah. I'm reading through your comments here, Tariq. You say most promising, unpredictable, but promising yet again.
Yes.
In what sense is it promising?
Well, this promises to be the brightest comet we've seen in the night sky in years, if possibly even decades. That's why NASA, other scientists are calling it the comet of the century. They don't know if it will perform. They don't want to basically say it's going to happen and then something happens with the comet on the way in. It breaks apart. It fizzles out. It burns up by the sun.
Alright, I don't think it will, but now I want to show you something else. Anyway, keep that in mind, and for all my Christian followers, remember, Jesus is coming, but you gotta remember the Antichrist is coming first, and you gotta remember, he likes to mock everything God does. So remember that giant star when Jesus came? I think he's imitating him here. And if you don't believe me, I got a little bit more proof here. We're gonna go ahead and check this out now. Check this out. Now this is basically showing all the signs and stuff that's going on in the world, and it's just unbelievable. The New World Order's pretty much here. They got everything they need. They just need the event to set it up. And if this comet triggers this electromagnetic Armageddon, what better excuse? A giant CME that hits the Earth and wipes out America's power grid? Come on.
Look to the heavens for divine guidance. But are we hearing what they say?
Now, I don't care whether you like this preacher guy or not. It doesn't matter. Listen to what he says and think about the statistics of this being able to happen.
The heavens await the coming 4 blood moons.
I don't even know who this preacher guy is,
The coming
but
4 blood moons points to a world-shaking event that will happen between April 2014 and October 2015.
now remember, you shouldn't set dates, but this looks legit.
A moon is a signal to Israel. A sun is a signal to the world. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the coming of the great and awesome day of the Lord. And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the coming of the great and awesome day of the Lord. And it shall come to pass that whoever calls on the name of the Lord shall be saved. He said in Matthew 24:29, immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun shall be darkened, solar eclipse, and the moon will not give its light.
And look at how they're on
the blood moon.
biblically important days.
And then the sign of the Son of Man, Jesus, will appear in heaven, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. This is God's signal to this terminal generation that something is big and it's going to happen soon.
How can you deny it,
something is
man?
going to change world history forever. Eclipses will fall on Passover and Sukkot in 2014 and 2015, the same back-to-back occurrences at the time of 1492, 1948, and 1967. If you know anything about history, those 3 dates in Israel's history are the most important dates in all of time. 3 times this has happened in over 300 years, and now it's getting ready to happen a 4th time. 4
What are the odds of
blood
that?
moons. The fact is that in Judaism, a solar eclipse is a negative sign for the nations of the world. A lunar eclipse is generally a negative sign for Israel. This chart has both. This back-to-back occurrence happened in 1492, 1948, and 1967. In April of 1492 was the Edict of Expulsion from Spain for the Jewish people by King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain. It's called the Edict of Expulsion because the Jews were given 14 days to get out of Spain. In simple language, the Jew who refused to convert to Catholicism was kicked out of Spain and could never return. They had 14 days to leave the country. All the properties of the Jewish people were seized by the Roman Church. Many Jews had been killed on torture racks. Thousands had been burned alive during the Spanish Inquisition, which was approved by the Roman Catholic Church. Why were they killed? They were killed for one reason. They were Jews who would not convert to Catholicism. It was when the Jewish people were kicked out of Spain that they took their maps and money and gave them to an Italian Jew named Christopher Columbus and said, find us a place to live. And he found a place that eventually became the United States of America, which has become home to the Jewish people and all people who are oppressed by tyrants and religious dictators on the face of the earth. In 1492, God lit up the heavens with this. God gathered the Jewish people that had been scattered across the earth. The Jews of the ever happened, Tel Aviv art quickly bounded up the steps, and precisely at 4 o'clock, recognized the state. A big earth-shaking event, and God lit up the heavens with this billboard of the 4 blood moons to celebrate what had happened for the 3rd time in over 500 years. Did we see it coming? Not to my knowledge. No one announced it. What are the common denominators in 1492, 1948, and 1967? They all center around Israel and the Jewish people. The Jewish people are still the apple of God's eye.
Sorry, I only get a limited amount of time, so we got to skip through a lot of stuff. Thank YouTube censorship.
Unspeakable triumph. In 1492, the Jewish people were killed by the Roman Church. Their properties were taken. Many of them gave their children to Protestants to raise them because they knew they were going to die trying to escape. That's tears. But then America was discovered and they had a home that they could live in with peace and prosperity. In 7 years, 6 million Jews were systematically slaughtered by Hitler's Nazis. It was an unspeakable tears and triumph.
That's all I'm going to take from him, and we're going to close out with this last little bit and some comments of what I think that means. I think we are just about to pass from the beginning of prophecies, which is what this video shows. It's from Fidoc Dave. He's an awesome videographer here. I think we're about to pass from the beginning of sorrow's prophecy right into the beginning of the Great Tribulation, people. That's why that huge comet's going to signal the beginning of the end, man. I'm telling you. There's a very high probability of that. Look at them moons, man. I don't know how to explain it, but I just got a very good feeling. And I don't know how to do... I'm going to set up a statistical calculation for you to show that the 4 eclipses are rare enough, and for them to fall on biblically important days like Passover and Sukkot, even if you don't know what them are, they're really important to Jews and Christians, so it doesn't matter. Passover is really important, and it's a major sign from God, supposedly in the Bible. So, whether you think it's a statistic or not, I think you should pay attention and do some of your own research, because as you can see, the world is falling apart, man. If you want to deny it, I mean, that's fine. You can go ahead, but some of us live in reality, and we're trying to help you and expose what's going on. And it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It's not going to stop or change it.
We get the first rain since November. We get absolutely massive hailstones.
And I can't save you. Only Jesus can. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The devil's trying to set up his one world government right now. God is warning us that it's over.
Weather on record in 1,000 years.
What reasons do we have for this? Is this climate change? What's going on?
We don't really know. The experts don't even know.
Good evening. Now it's in the books forever, or at least until the next winter, as powerful and relentless as this one. It really will be.
Look at all the birds and all the fish dying every day. Millions of them, man. It's just, it's not just the weather. It's not HARP. It's not all these reptilian conspiracies, man. This is Bible prophecy. It ain't a conspiracy. The Bible foretold about all this, and the Illuminati did not write that in the Bible.
100 million people.
So you got to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. But I was an atheist. I never thought I'd be doing crap like this in the name of Jesus. But God works in mysterious ways, people. So it's funny to me. And I don't mean to talk over the news, but like I said, I think you people got to start paying attention and looking at everything that's going on, man. It's not a coincidence. It's not Planet X or any of that stupid reptilian stuff. I'm telling you right now.
Britain remains in the grip of the big three.
If you want to know what's going on, you got to read the Bible and see God's plan, and then when you see that, he'll tell you that Satan gets a little run at things. He gets 7 years. So then you go and you investigate the Illuminati's plan for the world, and that involves World War III and depopulation and all kind of crazy stuff that you don't want to be a part of, man. So I'm running out of time here. We're going to close out with whatever images. Again, I'm claiming fair use.
Earthquake in Chile was so
Listen to
powerful,
this.
it knocked the Earth off of its axis and shortened the length of the day.
But yeah, nothing's wrong.
Measure of how powerful this earthquake was. Listen to this. It moved so much mass on the planet that government scientists estimate it moved the Earth off its axis by about 3 inches, and as a result shortened the day by a few millionths of a second. The quake raised the ground level of one island in Chile by 6 feet. and it most certainly turned the lives of millions, as we've seen, upside
All right,
down.
I'm out of time, so I don't ask for much, but if you could pass this around for me if you think it's informative and, you know, whatever you believe, thank you.